So you're saying there's a chance that Combat Pack 3 might not be canceled? New development and the plot thickens. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Dynasty. Hot off the wires, some breaking news on this Monday night. Seems like there is at least somewhat of a chance that NetherRealm Studios might have actually orchestrated the last 12 days of leaks. Now, I know that's probably a lot to take in, so I'm gonna try my best to explain to you what's going on, but I'm gonna be upfront. This does not necessarily confirm or deny any definitive answer if Combat Pack 3 is 100% gonna become a thing, 100% canceled. This is literally just information that got shared by none other than the OG when it comes to data mining the game source code, TheThiny. TheThiny just dropped some heat tonight, guys, and we gotta talk about it. So before we do, if you can do your boy solid, it takes you a second, please drop a like on the video. Again, I have been posting, it seems like every day, about the Mortal Kombat 1 Combat Pack 3 DLC situation. If you've not kept up, you gotta go watch my videos, because I've got probably an hour at this point of content discussing everything that's been going on lately. Essentially, long story short, initially, an insider called Fate Unknown, who's never been wrong, took to the Mortal Kombat Leaks subreddit over on reddit.com and shared that Combat Pack 3 was actually canceled because of poor sales for Chaos Reigns. And in this final message that they had, they shared the final 6 Combat Pack characters as well. Those final 6 were Jade, Cassie Cage, Sonya Blade, Kano, Kung Jin, and a guest character. And that's essentially what's been going on over the last few days. Now, this is crazy because I'm gonna just share this with you. TheThiny comes out and says, just got some confirmation that makes me 95% sure Fate Unknown was fed wrong information on purpose or fed us wrong information on purpose. Seems like they gave different employees different information. Combat Pack 3 still canceled though. Following that post from TheThiny, he added, the fact that 2 verified insiders with 100% track record have different information about the Combat Pack 3 makes me hopeful for the Combat Pack 3. And yeah, that kind of collides with the previous statement we just read from TheThiny. So that is what's going on right now. And trust, we got a lot more to talk about. So essentially, Fate Unknown and this other insider that I don't think TheThiny has came out and actually shared the details on who this person is, they had completely different information, but they both said KP3 was canceled. Now, why would both of these insiders share only half truths here? Why would they have a different list of characters that apparently, allegedly, NetherRealm Studios was working on, but because of these poor sales with the Chaos Reigns expansion, ultimately they got scrapped? Why would that happen? How could that happen? If these are people who are currently leaking information working at the studio, they would know who was in the Combat Pack 3. There'd be no confusion. It'd be pretty clear cut to the point. It's not like Interloco a couple of days ago trying to piece together, you know, different filters in the game's source code to kind of figure out what may happen. These are literal people who, it seems, have an insider at the studio, or they work at the studio, and different list of characters. Now, then he goes on to say, since my wording was confusing, here's an alternate way of explaining it. Fate and another insider is saying Combat Pack 3 is canceled, but they both have a different DLC list. That means that someone at NetherRealm Studios is giving employees wrong information. So there's a chance Combat Pack 3 is not canceled. We have one more insider left who hasn't spoken about this yet. So hopefully that third post from TheThiny kind of clarifies the situation, and I am at a loss for words. I honestly did not expect to get any update about KP3 this late at night. So to know that, according to TheThiny, we have someone else who is 100% proven track record along with Fate Unknown saying this doesn't add up. Guys, things are getting a bit weird. It's kind of fishy. So going on, Eugene says, Thinny, sorry, but I'm still confused. You mean Combat Pack 3 canceled in that shape that Fate has leaked? But since they had different information, we might consider that Combat Pack 3 is happening, but we just don't know who will be included. And in response to that pretty awesome question, Thinny says, in other words, both sources are saying Combat Pack 3 is canceled. Both sources gave different DLC list and number of characters. So it's literally different characters and even different numbers. A whole bunch of information is not aligning with these two sources that are never wrong. I really wish I knew who the second source was now. Jay says, I'll be honest with you, man. This is getting very confusing. And then he says, let's hope we get Combat Pack 3, because to be honest, they could be confusing us on purpose. Going on. Someone said, so the leak was wrong, but we still aren't getting future content. Then he said, yes. So why would they tell people that Chaos Reigns didn't do so hot just to get a leaker out? And then he says, yeah, it's possible. Now Chauncey says, you know you're confusing everyone with the weird wording. And he says, reword, KP3 is canceled, but Fate was fed wrong info about the characters. Again, that last portion is hypothetical. It seems like it. Rounding things off here, I thought this was kind of funny. In quotes, KP3 is still canceled though. But then he said, I'm still hopeful for Combat Pack 3. Make it make sense, Thinny. And to that, then he simply says, I'm hoping that the second dude also got wrong information and Combat Pack 3 is actually not canceled. So what does this mean for us? Us Mortal Kombat fans. Yes, I'm a fan despite what you think, just because I'm critical about a franchise that I've covered on the channel for 13 years and been playing since I was a literal baby. I beat Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super Nintendo because my dad taught me at the ripe age of 2 or 3 to spam Liu Kang fireballs. That's why I talk about Mortal Kombat. It's kind of my game. It's what I do. I'm not the best, but I still love the game. What does it mean for us fans? Fuck, dude, who knows? And to be completely honest, I'm not trying to get your hopes up, but at least now, there's some silver lining to all of this. Up until tonight, I was pretty much dead set on the idea that Combat Pack 3 was not going to happen unless the Christmas miracle we talked about a few days ago happened, and they sold 5 million copies of Chaos Reigns in the span of 2 weeks. I thought there was a chance, 0.1% chance, but still a chance. But with this situation, it just makes me think that if this second insider that Thinny is claiming is 100%, just like Fate Unknown, who we know for sure has never been wrong, why would there be a mix-up on the characters? Now, obviously, I can't confirm if Fate Unknown is really Ed Boon or somebody that's working at QA or an artist at NetherRealm Studios. I can't confirm who this mysterious second leaker insider that I don't know does for a living either. So for all I know, both these dudes are not even on the inside, they're on the outside. And the way things are micromanaged in gaming in 2024 in like a big AAA studio like NetherRealm, it would be really easy to tell one side of the studio, yeah, we're working on these characters downstairs. Cough, cough. And if that was a lie and the people upstairs heard that the downstairs people were working on, again, let's just say hypothetically, Terrifier, Art the Clown, well then, if somebody that heard this from the upstairs section goes and shares it on Mortal Kombat League subreddit via Fate Unknown, they can track down who exactly spread that information, especially if it's planted details like a fake character or a list of characters, you know what I mean? So I think that WB in particular, NetherRealm Studios, has kind of gotten really smart with leaks, guys. There's been leaks for years. I've been covering, again, Mortal Kombat Injustice on the channel for what feels like a lifetime, going back to the days of Mortal Kombat X. Those mods, that's when like the source code was first being cracked open and stuff. I was seeing like Aaron Black being unmasked, Tor being unmasked, then we got like Injustice 2. I still remember that near the end of that game's life cycle, before TMNT was actually revealed in a trailer, we found in the source code, I can't recall who found it. It might have been TheThiny. Don't quote me on that. It might have been TheThiny. There was like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy code, and that ended up being code for TMNT. Going back to the days of Mortal Kombat 11, you know, the whole data mine, source code, Terminator outro, Easter egg. I think it was his winning pose, right? Maybe it was like the end of one of the fatalities. I can't recall again. It's been years since I played MK11, so. And up until now, just 4 or 5 months ago, if you remember, Inner Loco accidentally shared how he was discovering a bunch of the upcoming content for the game, and after a DLC character came out and they updated the game, they went into the game's source code and added a bunch of Mortal Kombat names where Inner Loco was discovering a bunch of this behind-the-scenes information before he was supposed to. And funny enough, they were misspelling names like Draman, and because they misspelled Draman, it was pretty evident that it wasn't actually Draman, because how would you misspell a character like Draman if he was in the code being worked on? So, yeah, NetherRealm, WB, they've, I think they're doing it on purpose. I think at the very least, somebody might be in there trying to generate some type of hype, some type of buzz. If you wanted to have your finger on the pulse of what people were expecting and how they felt about the game moving forward, why not mess around and throw out some fake information like that just to see what's going on, just to gauge if it's worth continuing to support this game. They picked a few characters that made some sense again from that list. A lot of those we actually found the day one source code with some intros. Jade, Cassie Cage, Kung Jin, those three have, in my opinion, been a lock from day one. So that was not really a shocker. The guest could be anybody. Shocker for me was honestly Kano and Sonya, because we haven't necessarily had proof that they would end up being playable outside of the cameos. But when you think about it, I mean, it makes sense. Everybody's been begging to have Sonya come back, and Kano being on the cameo roster is kind of weird because, you know, Ghostface is doing his cannonball. Why? Should be our boy Kano, or maybe at least Jarek. So, when the list was a bunch of fan favorites and actual characters that had information found in the source code, actual intros against Natara a la Jade, Kung Jin, Cassie Cage, new designs for the combat kids at the end of this game's story mode as well, the Armageddon ending in the pyramid. So, half of it is super believable, and the other half is pretty damn believable too. Now this information comes out, and like I said, the silver lining to all of this is we don't know what's going on. For the first time in a minute, I don't know what's going on. Personally, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm going to try my best not get your hopes up, guys. I don't think it's going to happen, because at least both of these leakers, despite having wrong rosters, they both said KP3 isn't going to happen. Now, again, obviously, that could be a way to dissuade us into thinking they're going to not support this game, but wouldn't that cut into the cells? Don't they want to give players an incentive to keep playing? So then wouldn't you want this out there? Us not knowing? Dynasty making videos on shit like this? The whole community has been talking about Mortal Kombat 1 this last week and a half more than they did when Chaos Reigns dropped. Okay, maybe that's an over-exaggeration, but the intrigue, right? This kind of brought a lot of us back in. So we'll see what happens. That's my take on all of it. I'm shocked, but honestly, at this point, nothing shocks me. If you remember going back to the day of the Mortal Kombat 11, I want to say reveal trailer, they emailed a bunch of accidental emails to the wrong people, and we pretty much got like the gameplay trailer music leaked. We got word that Sonya Blade would be using the likeness of Ronda Rousey and things of that sort, and that was a literal email leak. So this isn't new. None of this is new. I thought back then that was a marketing tactic, because I don't know how you managed to fuck that up, but hey, seems like that's kind of what they do, and maybe now they're trying to capitalize off of their fuck-ups. And again, the added benefit to this is we are left in limbo, and boy, isn't it nice when we can have surprises. I know I'm gonna get crucified because I cover leaks, but it's like, bro, if a leak is out there, it's gonna spread. So, but if this is how they counteract leaks, and you know, maybe they just keep adding a bunch of weird names in the source code, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky, and in March or April, when we think this game is deader than dead, they come out and surprise us with the craziest combat pack ever. I don't think it's going to happen, but at least now there's at least a chance. Now, TheThiny did mention a third insider who's not spoken about this yet. Intrigued to see what they have to say, and I'm hoping in the next few days that TheThiny can probably share who the second insider is, and if not, at least the details of who they heard was supposed to be part of this canceled? Question mark? Combat Pack 3. But guys, that's all I got for y'all today. I know it's another late upload, but I gotta bring the news when it drops. I know you guys are probably salivating for anything KP3. So I hope, despite not giving you a definitive answer, this was worth watching for 15 minutes. If you stuck around for this long, you're a real one. And if you stuck around this long and you haven't dropped a like on the video, you probably should, because I love you. So love me back in the comment section down below. I want to read what you guys have to say on this whole situation with Boon leaving X and moving to Blue Sky. I feel like that was Boon's way to kind of leave the hot seat and kind of avoid that added pressure. Because if Boon is on X, Twitter, and he tweets out quite literally anything, he's going to get bombarded with KP3 cancellation questions. I'm pretty sure that he was hiding replies to his most recent tweets asking about the leaks. So Boon is already trying to hide the leaks, and now he ran away to Blue Sky to avoid it. So we're in some weird times. Based on the Boon responses, again, I said I'm not going to try to guess and interpret exactly what he meant by the text, but he didn't look too happy. He didn't look too happy. I think I can say that. Right? So, what do y'all think of this? Hopefully, you're like me and you're not gonna get your hopes up. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, so when it does happen, I could be even crazier in my reaction, because I'll be completely shocked, and it won't be a list of DLC characters that I've known about for a year, because it was in the source code. That's one of the drawbacks of gaming in 2024, and boy, there's a lot, but that's one of them. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. KP3, is it gonna happen? You're telling me, Dynasty, there's a chance? There's a chance! If anything happens of note, I'll give you an update on the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.